wisdom. Student enrollment, that's what the class of God students enrolling. Supreme wisdom, I study it hard. The study of myself is the study of God. Supreme wisdom, write your letter, get your X. Supreme wisdom, that's what you'll be getting next. Supreme wisdom, some call it the lessons, but I call it life, actual facts, no guessing.
The minister spoke this weekend, and he talked about the group called the Cotton Pickers.
Yeah, right. He did.
And he was like, what in the world? So, you know, that we would choose a name like Cotton Pickers, that means that we still enslaved in the mind, you know, instead of, you know, doing like the Supremes or something like that, you know, picking a name like that. And that just goes to show our enslavement in our mind. But Sister Gabrielle made a good point. And I think that that's so important, that when you change your name, and a lot of people did after slavery, they were able to choose new names. That's where you get Freeman from. And so, you know, Freeman's Bureau, so they chose the last name Freeman. But when you change your name and you give back the enemy his name, when you start tracing the lineage, because really, to be honest with you, when you change your name, you're a runaway slave, so to speak. You know, you're going for free. That is a definite sign that you are becoming awake, or you become to a degree awake, and you're running away, because you're breaking it. So when they start tracing the lineage, they're gonna see a break in the name, and the only way that they can figure out, you know, they're gonna have to trace back in the lineage to find out what plantation, what people you come from, because at some point some of that stuff just kind of gets lost, and then you sprout a new branch off the tree with a new destiny, a new history. So the name is so important.
Okay. So let's go back to. Okay, so we did come out of her, my people. And be that ye be not partakers of her sins. So, first of all, what is a sin? You know what a sin is?
By definition, it's a transgression of a law, and that's, you know, just it on its face. But then sin, according to a Quran and Bible, that is something that makes you, separate you from God. It talks about sin making you slip, making you fall away from God. So it's a thing that disconnects you from, you know, your Creator.
Pardon me. Sin. Sister Gabrielle, can you read the definition of sin?
An offense against religious or moral law. An action that is felt to be highly reprehensible. A vitiated state of human nature in which the self is estranged from God.
Let's look for vitiated.
Please.
Vitiated.
What happened? It's VITIAT.
VITIA.
Vitiated.
VITIA.
TED, yes. Oh, I have it. Vitiated.
Vitiated is, first one came up was the Urban Dictionary, so let's find, okay.
It says
vitiated. You don't want that?
Right. I have a definition of vitiated.
Okay.
It says, oh yes, like this, no, vitiate. Spoil or impair the quality or efficiency of. Destroy or impair the legal validity of. To make faulty or defective. Impair the common impact. Oh, wait, I was reading the sentence. To debase in moral or aesthetic status a mind. Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
I keep going to read the sentences, but yeah.
What did you say? The last one.
The last one is to debase in moral or aesthetic status.
Before
that? To make faulty or defective, impair.
Okay. To make faulty. Oh, that goes with at least our condition, for sure. Well, actually, all three of them. For sure.
Impair.
Yes.
Okay.
And which the self walk is estranged from God. I would say that is us through and through. So, be not partakers of her sins. Well, what was her sin?
This world they live in. I mean, there's literally, I'm sorry for the matter, but there's literally a city called Las Vegas, and the nickname for the city is Sin City. So let's take a look at what goes on in Las Vegas.
And what's
Gambling is legal. Well, alcohol is legal everywhere, but prostitution is legal. What else is legal in Las Vegas? A lot of things that.
Gambling and prostitution.
Well, gambling and prostitution, but I mean everything else besides those two are legal all over the country.
Yes.
So,
yeah. I mean, what do they call, cigarettes and sin tax,
Contraband.
right?
Sin
Sin tax.
right. So, yeah, that's but the question is, why would something? What would draw people to? You would think a place with the name Sin City, people would stay far away from based on the definition that you showed us for sin, to be estranged from God. But at the same time, Las Vegas is a tourist hotspot where people go on vacation.
That's because you never sin. You don't know how to feel.
Yeah.
People sin because they like the way it feels.
Okay, but that's
Man.
You would think things like with the name sin, and evil, the devil, and Satan, and all these different words that we associate with vile things that people would stay from. But you're living in a place where that's where people run to. That's the sins that we should not be partakers in.
But sin is not what you think.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
People sin not because they, feel bad or I feel I just do it. They sin. It's just like you remember the Devil's Advocate, where the talk about he tells you to look but don't touch. He tells you to taste but not to eat. He tells you that. So what it is that these 5 sensory input devices called feel, touch,
Senses.
sensation. Those things are designed to stimulate certain endorphins in your mind. And when you can stimulate those endorphins, really that's when you get in religious ecstasy, it's the same thing. When people get the Holy Ghost and stuff like that, and all those types of religious ecstasies, it stimulates the same part of the brain as drugs, as alcohol. Love, they say even love, falling in love stimulates that part of the brain. So the point is that sin is not something that is reprehensible and is morally indefensible, but yet it's not something that's it's not something that you, if it was like touching fire, you would do.
It's like touching fire.
It is touching fire. It's not like it, but it don't feel like it.
It doesn't. So let's see, we can liken that too. Well, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, what is, I would say, America's, or because we're coming out of her, right? So what is her sin? What are her sins?
The greatest sin, according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is that he enslaved us. He put us in this bondage for 450 years, almost 60, but 63 years now. That is the greatest sin that he has done, and for that one sin alone, Allah is going to destroy America, among the other sins.
Yes.
But to take away somebody's humanity,
Yes.
you really can't get anyone. You could kill me.
Wicked.
Yeah.
It strips somebody down to nothing.
But at the same time, taking away our humanity was the only way they could justify doing what they did.
Right.
So the dehumanization of, the black man and woman was absolutely necessary for them to do what they did, because if they didn't dehumanize us, convince other people that we were less than human, nobody would allow them to do it.
Right.
And that's why it continues today,
Right.
where black people can be shot down in the street, and yet there's not a mass uprising,
Right.
or there's no other country, dropping bombs on America, talking about committing
Human rights.
Right.
yeah, human rights activists. They, PETA. There's the people who will sue you over an animal wearing a fur coat or something like that.
Right.
You can face all kind of retribution for mistreating an animal, but at the same time, when that same type of evil is happening upon a person, a human being, you can just be okay with it. A man is in his own home, and a white woman walks in and shoots him in his home.
That said she thought she was going to hurt
In
him.
her
Right. And so the only reason there's not rioting in the streets, fires outside, is because nobody thinks that we matter. Nobody considers us human beings. They're like
most importantly
trash.
us.
Right. It's just the
Yeah.
exact point. Exactly.
Other people can feel like that all day, but if we don't even feel like that,
Yeah, exactly.
that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
But yes, the Most High Elijah Muhammad said, killing the aboriginal of this continent, Red Indians, went back to Africa and Asia, deceived and brought our fathers here to make slaves and experiment on them.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
They call it medical experiment.
All
Yes,
time.
that's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yeah.
Experiment on us.
I mean, everybody know about the Tuskegee experiments,
Yeah.
and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
You got what? Planned Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But let me bring this point to the table.
Mm-hmm.
That when Mr. Yakub took his 59,999 people over to the island of Patmos or Pilan, what he did is that was called an experiment as well.
Yes.
America essentially is an island as compared to what they call the old world. When we came over here along with the other exiles, this was an experiment as well that resulted in a Negro. That was what they were going after making. A Negro wasn't a happenstance. A Negro was a predetermined idea by some people to make something that would be nothing. But see, Allah's plans encompasses their plans. So Allah said, you can make him nothing, and I will show forth my power by taking that nothing and making it a God over you.
And nothing. Okay, so we got, and come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. What's a plague? Do we know what a plague is? The definition of a plague, at least. No?
Well, I know it has to do with disease, it has to do with disasters, it has to do with pestilence. And I think pestilence and disease, plagues are different, but yeah.
Yeah, a plague is a plethora of things.
Okay.
That's the definition.
Oh, it includes pestilence?
Yes, it includes.
That's the definition.
Right.
That's the first definition.
Oh,
You read it? You gonna read it?
no, I was actually looking it up. But
A plague is a
disaster.
Disastrous
oh,
evil.
well, I can't see that.
Plague is a disastrous evil or affliction, calamity, a destructively numerous influx or multiplication of noxious animals, infestation. Do you know what noxious means?
Like poisonous, not just toxic. And infestation, they have bed bug infestation.
Yeah, that's going on now. The
Yeah.
bed bug is
No,
is
they
real high
what
right
they
now.
have is this new disease out, this infection that's causing children to become paralyzed.
Mm-hmm. They
They
have
said
that
it's like polio.
Okay, a sudden unwelcome outbreak to cause worry or distress to burden, an epidemic disease causing a high rate of mortality, pestilence. So we have calamity, we have infestation, pestilence, I guess, a burden. Exactly. So, did you get it?
What, noxious?
Yes.
It says harmful, poisonous, or very unpleasant.
Yeah, so poisonous. That's what we said, the bed bugs. Calamities and disastrous evil or affliction.
The flood in Texas, which I did
In
not know
Florida.
the other day. Yep, oh yeah, the hurricane in Florida.
In Florida. So if we go to chapter 54 of the Fall of America, the chapter title, The Calamity, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, we do not have to ask anyone whether or not this warning of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. We see the fulfillment of this prophecy with our eyes and hear with our ears the great calamities that are now striking America. We see the great division, the great disagreement, disunity and murder of men. We see the great amount of raping and murdering of girls and women, the B2 movement, and all this. There is a great robbery, and there is great robbery and thieving going on every hour of the day and night. There are great storms and adverse weather conditions. There are minor earth tremors and hailstorms. There are signs in the wonder of signs being displayed in the heavens, in the earth, and on the sea and land. There is unusual behavior of children. There is unusual love or dislike of children by mothers and fathers, and the destruction of the process of childbirth. There is the great calamity of starvation and great destruction of health and of lives by the use of and administering of poison drugs, which is practiced upon those who are free and those who are bound. What has America been known, what has been known as America is threatened today with the total destruction. America is destroying herself in her effort to destroy her black slave. The water and air of America are being polluted by the chemical bacteriologists. So he's telling us,
That's literally
What we-
everything I can point to an example. Every last one of those.
Right now, like
Plagues.
just wrote.
Like you said, the water, you got Flint, the air,
The tremors of the earth, the
Mhm.
tremors with fracking.
Right.
And then you also just have those earthquakes over there in Indonesia.
Japan.
No, Indonesia.
the raping of women and girls. We got Kevin off and
They talked about the
and,
children, the people not loving the children.
People killing children.
Right, and then they also
Planned Parenthood.
the attack on
the
the
childbirth.
birth. Like every last thing. It was one of them that really I was like, man, that was so on. Cause I constantly, I'm reading like these articles that pop up on my phone. They kind of refresh themselves or whatever. Every time I just get on the internet on my phone, I just, before I search whatever I want to search, I read, look at the articles and stuff now. And that's kind of how I keep up with what's going on because I don't have any social media. And so I just, whenever I'm on the internet, I'm always checking, the latest news stories and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, when they talked about the food, the poison, they said, when he said something about the food, they said most of them there's an article out, the CDC, not the CDC, but one of these, they said about 22.
FDA.
That's what I
FDA.
said.
They said 22, or it may be even more of the most, the biggest, fast food chains are receiving like an F grade for their meats, the antibiotic levels in their meats. I literally can pull up the article now. But
tuberculosis.
They started to have all kind of tumors, or at least showing
they're
it.
saying that the meat is and also I know they had
Cancer does have tumors on it.
they had a recall because they have salmonella poisoning that's coming out again. On different products. I think it was meats.
You know what salmonella is?
No.
If I'm not mistaken, that's when fecal matter gets into your food.
But yeah, and then they're having all these different products they're testing and they're being recalled for different types of outbreaks of different infections and viruses or whatever they are. But yeah, bacterial infections and stuff like that. So yeah, the food has been, it's talking about famine. We just had the Monsanto products being recalled, and now, you know, more and more staples of the American diet. You know, I mean, fast food, let's be honest, is a staple of the American diet. You know, and so they're being called out for the quality of the food that they're serving people.
Supreme wisdom, some call it the lessons, but I call it life, actual facts, no guessing.